Hey YouTube, welcome back. Today we talk about how to handle errors in GraphQL. So this is one of the most famous questions when it comes to interview questions that are related to GraphQL. So handling errors in GraphQL is distinct from traditional REST API because GraphQL always returns a status code of 200, which is OK. Even when an error occurs, you will get 200. And this actual error information is included in the response body. So let's talk about how to handle it. So first, we should using the error field in GraphQL response. So let's assume that we have like some sort of JSON object. Let me copy this one for us to read this. So if we have like this JSON object, like let's call it literacy. So here we should use the errors. We should use the errors field in GraphQL response. Like GraphQL responses include an errors field when there are issues, including a query. This field is an array of errors. So we have an error. We should get this error. It's basically, I'm saying user ID was 123. It's not found, etc., etc. The second thing that we should talk about which is the error handling when it comes in. Let me just make this. Error handling in resolvers. So in your server side resolvers, in server side resolvers you can handle errors by catching exceptions or validation issues when validation issues, and then throw like a meaningful error for them. So let's just give a quick example for them. Let me just copy the code, this one, and let's just try. So right now we have a resolver here, and we see the query, and we say try to find a user by ID. If we can't find it, we throw an error. Number 3, we could have like custom error type as well. So GraphQL allows for custom error types. You can extend errors with additional fields to provide more context if you want. So like you can throw a new error if you want, instead of having just this default error, but you can just have your own error. You could have we could talk about also the formatting errors. So in some GraphQL implementation like Apollo Server, you can format errors before sending them to the client. So you can do something like that. But like this is too much. Let me just do something better. Yeah, this one is better, way more better. So you can have like an error formatter, and just you can customize it. You have your own custom code, etc. In terms of error handling, you in the client side, you should check if for the error field in GraphQL. So if you have the error fields are available, that means we have an error. So we return the error, and that's it. So let's talk about the best practices when it comes to that. So the best practice that first you should, in my opinion, the first thing that you have a clear error message. This is the first thing when it comes to the best practices. The second thing, it will be use HTTP status code judiciously. It's important. So while GraphQL typically uses 200, which is OK, you can use HTTP status code for critical server errors, like 500 for server errors. Let's talk about security. Be cautious about exposing sensitive details in error messages. Avoid revealing implementation details that could be exploited. Let's talk about logging. On the server side, on the server, log errors for monitor and debug purposes. That would be great. When it comes to this interview question, I guess I over explained most of the stuff. I guess mostly you will have to just only talk about this type of this type of the answer. You when your interviewer talk you about GraphQL, how to handle errors, you'll see that we always have GraphQL always return 200, which is OK. So basically we can rely on have a new object or a new element in the errors array. And I guess that will be fine, but maybe your interviewer could just push on you, depends on your level. So he could talk about resolve for he or she resolvers, or he could talk about the custom types, or could talk about the formatting errors format, and could ask you about also some best practice. So we're trying to cover everything that is related to handling error in GraphQL in this question. So yeah, that's it for this video, and I hope you like my content. If you like my content, make subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video, and see you in future problem.